Hello, thanks for visiting Great Beginnings. I'm Nancy, and today I wanted to continue talking about forgiveness because my video got cut off. I wasn't quite done. So we'll call this forgiveness, topic of forgiveness part 2. And so as we left off, Stephen was giving his testimony before the Sanhedrin, and he was gracious, he was kind, he was just filled with a lot of hope, and he delivered his testimony in a genuine, sincere way, and he even laid their charge upon him. And but when the moment he was done, they took him outside and stoned him to death. And I'm sorry to say, but it's a very typical behavior from people that are operating under the spirit of jealousy and envy. And unfortunately, today there are many people operating under that spirit. We are in the day of, some people call them end times, some people call it Judgment Day. It's when all deeds are exposed, when the deeds that are done in the dark are kind of brought to the light, and everything's pretty transparent, and things that may have been hidden before in the past are kind of being brought out and exposed, and you see things for what they are, and now I, for one, I don't judge others, because I, of course, judge not and be not judged. And although, be discerning and judging righteous judgment. It's what King Solomon had wished for when he was told to ask whatever he wanted. He was certainly favored by God, and he asked God for the ability to judge his people well, to judge with fairness and with justice, and to judge righteous judgment. And so he did. He was granted that. And God was also so pleased with him that he also gave him what he didn't ask for, which was material wealth in abundance, more than anyone before or after, and wisdom. He was granted more wisdom than anyone before or after. So yes, we have enough on our own plate to worry about others. But the question is, once you forgive someone for wronging you, and because after all, it is what Jesus wants us to do. He told us to forgive 7 times 70, and the woman that was caught in the act of adultery, he who has not sinned, let him cast the first stone, and so forth, and forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, even though most of the time they really do know what they're doing, and they keep doing it. but forgive them anyway, and here's why. You are not responsible for the choices that other people make in their lives. Other people make bad choices, and they have free will to do so. They like their sin, and let's face it, when we live a life that's destructive, that's self-destructive, and we kind of are comfortable with that, and we certainly don't wish to move from that, and we like where we are, so it's perfectly fine. People that are happy with the choices they have made, you got to leave them alone, and you got to forgive them for wronging you, for all, because you're not the only person that they have wronged, and there are many others as well. But here's why you forgive them: because you just let it completely go, because it has nothing to do with you. A lot of these people have suffered a lot of traumatic experiences, and maybe they had some childhood issues that they never resolved, never did the inner healing. For whatever reason, they're stuck where they are, and they don't want to move. And so you got to let it go. Let it go, because you're a valuable person on God's team, and he certainly doesn't want his people being caught up in any drama, any toxic behavior, any low vibrational energy. It is Judgment Day, and God's putting us in the path of, he's using us. He works in us to will and to do of his good pleasure, and certainly I take my cue from him. So he tells me to back off because you've waited long enough, and things aren't moving, so that's enough. Come away, come out of her, my people, that you be not caught up in her sins, because certainly there's karma. because there is perfect justice. As I've mentioned in a previous segment, God sees everything, and you don't have to worry about, vengeance or getting even or being malicious or being vindictive or wishing bad for anyone. You certainly wouldn't want to have any of that hanging around in your heart zone, because your heart is very sacred. It's a sacred place. It's where your peace of mind comes from. It's where your peace, your joy, your happiness, your love, it is from where everything about you emanates from. So you want to protect your heart. And you certainly don't want any unhealthy, negative thoughts, feelings, emotions. Let it all go. Release those who have wronged you. Release them to receive their karma. They've got to go through it. They can't attach themselves to you. I personally block anyone's negative, toxic energies from even infiltrating or crossing a threshold. There's no way. Our doors are sprinkled with the blood of the Lamb, and we are under divine protection. There's no way. But for your own sake, let it all go, knowing this, that there is perfect justice. No one gets away with anything, okay? But it is not you to dole out justice. You make decisions, and you judge situations in your life, and certainly you want to judge with fairness and with justice, and a bit of discerning goes into that. You have to weigh the balances to be fair. Fairness and justice go hand in hand, but you let things go, because there's one judge, and that's God, and he sees all, and no one gets away with anything. It's called karma. It's called what goes around comes around. It's called reaping what you sow. It's called many things, but all in all, it's not a very nice place to be if you've pissed off God. But he's an equal opportunity God. I mean, he stands at the door and knocks, and he says, if any man hear my voice, I will come into him and sup with him, and he with me. And again, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened. But if a person isn't seeking, and if they're not opening the door, and if they're not making any changes in their life for the betterment of their soul path, their journey, their person, because we're all here for a reason. We all chose to be here at this particular time. This is a very exciting time to be alive on the planet, and we are all very valuable to God, to the Most High God, because there are things that he wishes for us to do. There are missions that are at hand. So you have enough on your plate. Leave it alone. Let it go and give it to God. He does everything perfectly. You don't have to worry about it. I never have to worry about anything, with anybody who's ever, I just release all harsh judgments about people, because it's not worth it. You're not going to give your power away to anyone to affect you in any way, shape, or form. Don't do it, because they're not worth it. You've got a shitload of issues to go through, and you have nothing to do with their lives and with what they're going through and with the reasons they behave the way they do. People make their own choices. It has nothing to do with you. They're on their own paths, their own journeys. It could be that God put you in their path for a reason, and maybe it was to awaken a person to a degree for a purpose or for an issue they had in their life. But after that, you release and let go. And that's how it is with people that cross your paths in your lifetime. It's not necessarily meaning that you're supposed to wind up with that people. A person can have many, many soulmates from times past. But we're all here to learn, and it's all about soul growth. So that's why the answer to the question, once you forgive someone, because you do forgive them, and so that you have nothing on you, you've done your part, you have forgiven them, you're good. Okay, then you can move on with things you need to get going with your life, move on and move. And Great Beginnings is all about starting over and moving forward, and it's for, I put this channel up for people that have gone through situations like what I have gone through. I have encountered several narcissistic personalities that had deep impact in my life. And it took me years to recover from. I'm not kidding. I'm not gonna lie. Those kind of things take a tremendous amount of inner work and finding time alone and healing, and to strengthen yourself once again. And when you come through, you're stronger than ever. But you're familiar with it, and God had placed that in my heart and in my life for a reason. And there were things that God wanted me to experience and understand, so that I can be here to speak to those who are going through the same thing, so that you can heal. And Great Beginnings eventually will have a place where we can have a workout, twice a week, and so it can help people rebuild their self-esteems and their self-confidences, and the things that they when they were knocked down through traumatic times, to pick yourself up and keep going. So it's a support, and that's why I'm on here, this channel. It's free. If you like the content, if it helps you in any way, like, share, and subscribe. But if not, I don't ever worry about things like that. I just focus on the activity. I put it out there. God will use it any which way He feels, and I don't have to worry about it. And the same with forgiving someone. Once you have done that, you may ask yourself the question: once I've forgiven someone, does that mean that I have to take them back into my life as a friend, or as do I have to have anything to do with them ever again? The answer is no. Because as you're moving and you're growing, you are vibrating a little higher, and you certainly want to surround yourself with people that are supportive, people that are vibing high like you, people that are like-minded and on a similar journey as yourself, people that are learning and growing and moving forward. You don't want to go back. Never. Remember Lot's wife. Don't go back. Never look back. Keep going. Keep it going. Keep it moving. Don't go back. No. And don't allow these people a footprint in your life again, because you have already learned and gained the lesson, the tremendous, invaluable lesson that you learned from going through that experience. From someone stabbing you in the back, or from someone who just hated on you. I mean, there are a lot of haters operating under the spirit of jealousy and envy. They just hate you because you're happy, because you have light. They hate you because you are connected with the Most High. For whatever reason, they hate you. For no reason at all. And this is a side note. To hate your neighbor without a cause is the same as committing murder to the Most High God. I don't know if anybody knows that, but that is a very serious thing, to wish harm on someone that has done you no wrong. But certainly I know in my life there have been those who have even hired practitioners to do black magic spell work on me, to keep me stagnant and stuck, to keep me in poverty, so that nothing good would come my way, to keep me from ever finding true love, to keep me in bondage and bound to themselves, and to try to attach their negative, toxic, bullshit energy to my energy. They're blocked forevermore. They are blocked. And as I said, I release with light and love anyone who's ever wronged me. And my hope and prayer for those people, those haters, is that they would come to learn their lessons through their severe, harsh karmic situations, because you reap what you sow. And reaping what you sowing, what you sow is a very basic, it's as old as time itself. It's a very universal law. Reaping and sowing has to do with, if you're giving good out in the world, you're going to get that back to you. If you're putting out bad, negative, hateful things, you're going to get that back too. So for those haters that have day in and day out lived to see my downfall, prayed for that I would get in an accident, that I would somehow fall over and die. I mean, I kid you not, there are people who really, really do pray that. For those haters, I feel for you, for the severity of your, what God, the scales are going to be balanced, honey. And it's not my wish. It is just, there is perfect justice. It's like when Daniel interpreted the writing on the wall. Mene tekel upharsin. You have been weighed in the balances and found wanting. Okay, so God is the equalizer, and he's he's in control of this. Is his program altogether. Everything happens in the fullness of God's timetable. Not in my timetable, certainly, and not in yours. Everything happens for the best, according to God's justice, and his justice is perfect. That's why we don't have, as believers and as people of faith, whatever faith you are, even all the different faiths believe that there is a higher God. There is one, the Most High God, who sees all things, and he does things perfectly, and everything is equaled out and balanced. Especially, we are in the day of judgment, so this is when all karmic justice is doled out. So if you didn't know that, maybe it would help you knowing that, because then, of course, you might think twice about your behavior. And I have only this to add, people that have spent an enormous amount of energy putting out bad wishes towards individuals that they don't even know, people that have never done them any harm or wished them any wrong, I do forgive them, because certainly they know not what they do. They don't know how much destruction they're bringing upon themselves and their families. And there's nothing sadder than the loss of souls like that, there's nothing sadder. But gosh, what was I going to say? There was something I was going to add to that. But anyway, I don't remember what it is, but I just, I'll leave you with that. I remember, when a person is targeted by haters, and they, we're under divine protection, so nothing infiltrates, nothing surpasses. I'm totally immune to all of that. I mean, you can't, do this energy harvesting while I'm sleeping and try to suck the life energy out of my skull. Whatever fucking thing you're thinking. Oh my God. I kid you not, these people think that. Okay, so, or try to be me, try to exchange DNA, going through the Akashic records to find out exactly when I was born and where, and then learning everything about my ancestry. I mean, please. You cannot get past God. I'm sorry, but what is my birthright is mine, and it's not yours. And what you have coming is everything that you have doled out. That's what you have to look forward to. But here's the thing. When a person is targeted by a bunch of haters, all it does is God doles out even more blessings upon his anointed, because of what they've gone through, because of their perseverance, because of their patience, because of their lack of reacting, because of all of that, God's blessings and favors upon his anointed. So I just wanted to let you know, and I really owe you a big thank you, because I'm filled with joy and happiness and peace in my heart, and I thank you all for making me even more resilient and even stronger than I have ever been. So there you have it. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. That's part 2 of forgiveness. Yes, we forgive. And yes, we we let go and release with love and light, and we wish we don't gloat, we don't have any feeling whatsoever about the judge. We simply step away. We step away from God's judgment upon others. We have nothing to do with it. It is God's program. And he tells his people, step away. We step away. God takes over. And I don't mess with that. I absolutely have nothing to do with anything that anybody is. Even narcissistic people will always try to project whatever befalls them onto the other people, onto the people that they have been abusing all these times. They're going to all think, she's the reason I'm going through this. I'm having hard times financially. No, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. When you put spell work on me, it came back to you. Everything has a boomerang effect. It comes back to you tenfold. So when you hired that practitioner to do all kinds of voodoo bullshit on me, sticking pins in my eyes and whatever things you do, I have no idea, crazy things that you people do. But when you do things like that, it all is ricocheted, it all boomerangs, God delivers a swift recompense tenfold upon those that do that stuff. So think twice about what you're doing. It's no fun for a person to watch things like this happen to people that they once really admired and truly had a lot of love for. But we cannot have any acquaintance or any, that energy is totally blocked. So the second part of this segment has to do with, do you have those people back in your life in any which way? No, it's blocked, and you move forward. Okay, so I hope this helped anybody out there who's listening, and we'll touch on another subject sometime soon. Have a great day.